Okay, now I am here in Dewford, and I'm about to do Brawly's Gym, and I have a guest with me.
Hello. My name's Belf, and for the record, I've not played this game yet, because, unfortunately, I live in Europe, and it's not out until the week after in Europe, so...
Yeah.
I've heard good things about the game.
Yeah, it's quite nice. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get right started.
So, what are your opinions on the game so far?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's not necessarily fun how, like, every time something noteworthy really happens, I have to stop to write it down. I did actually ask Vicdip for advice on how he did his Soul Silver text LP, and now it's going a whole lot smoothly. I actually considered canceling the text LP just because I figured I wouldn't enjoy it at all. Also, stupid protecting metatites.
Yeah, I've never really tried to do a text LP. I've tried to do a few regular LPs, but they didn't go so well because I'm lazy, and so I didn't finish them. And they were poorly updated. But, I can't wait to get the games next week.
Yeah.
Because I've pre-ordered both, which my wallet's screaming.
Spoiler alert. I don't know if the pre-order bonus is different in Europe, but, similar to X and Y, you get a poster for pre-ordering them.
Well, I actually pre-ordered the special editions, which were Europe exclusive, or UK exclusive, the metal case editions. And we get this, it's not an amiibo figure, but it's like this weird 3-inch Groudon and Kyogre figure with each game.
Oh right, I saw those.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think me and one of my friends for art class were talking about how stupid it was that those cool-looking figurines were Europe exclusive, but hey, at least it's not like the usual event Pokemon, where Japan gets a whole lot of cool stuff and America doesn't get nearly as much compared to them, and okay, this is...
just shoehorn it into Toys R Us.
Yes, but anyway, this is somewhat different in that, do you mind if I spoil the gimmick for you here?
Go for it.
It's different in that you don't light the place up by fighting trainers, but once you fight them, it's like you get to this switch and it lights it up temporarily. It lights the whole thing up temporarily so you can see the path as to where you're going.
Oh, I see.
And you have to memorize the path because there are conveyor belts and stuff that don't let you pass.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you think that these games live up to, like, the legacy of the originals?
Well, I don't really know. Like, maybe it's just because I haven't been playing them for that long, but I mean, I'm enjoying them, and they seem pretty faithful to the original, minus a few changes that are there seemingly just to make it easier.
Well, the thing that I plan on doing when I get the games is, I'm gonna have one, which is basically storage. Like, I'm probably gonna transfer in my living collection from X to Sapphire, and play through with the Sapphire team, and then my main game will be Ruby, like where I actually do the post-game content, and the apparent Battle Frontier, which is apparently in the game.
Yeah, if the music is any indication, they might put it in as like DLC. I mentioned.
Or it could be a timed event.
Yeah, I mentioned this like in the actual Skype group, but I'd really like the Battle Factory to be there, if only because I want to go to the Battle Factory again.
The Battle Factory is so good.
Yeah, I love playing with Pokemon that aren't mine.
Although, like, like, all of the other events suck. It's just... Actually, no, the Pyramid was pretty cool.
Well...
I remember.
Yeah. I never really tried much of the other ones, if only because I spent way too much time in the Battle Factory.
Well, I managed to get, like... I think I got all of the symbols, and then couple of gold symbols before I just gave up, because seriously, fuck the battle there.
Huh.
Fuck the Battle Palace. The Battle Palace is the worst.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that one's pretty awful. I tried a few silver symbols. I think I got the one from the factory, of course, and I think I got the one from the pike. And there's probably another one I'm forgetting, but I'm pretty sure those are the only ones I did get.
I mean, I think the hardest one to get is probably Brandon's from the pyramid, just because, it's got a team of 3
legendaries.
What the shit? And the thing that kind of annoys me about the Battle Factory existing in Emerald, rather than in Gen 6, it's much harder to get stuff in the 3rd generation than it is in the 6th generation because there's no GTS. So as they've done since Gen 4 and onwards, after you beat the main game, you get access to stuff from previous generations in other regions. I mean, they kind of did that in Fire Red and Leaf Green with all the Johto stuff in the Seti Islands, and half the Johto stuff in Emerald's post-game, like, Safari Zone, but...
Yeah, not to mention, like, there was stuff in the, whatchamacallit. There was a whole bunch of Johto stuff in Coliseum, and I'm already at Brawly. So, should I switch Grovyle in my first slot?
Well, I assume his team hasn't changed.
Well, I actually did look at it, and I don't remember,
Well, I think his original team was just a Machop, a Meditite, and Makuhita.
Oh, well, in this game, I think this is the one where whichever one in which he didn't have a Machop, I just know that he had 2 things in Ruby and Sapphire, and, 3 things in Emerald. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and switch I'll switch Quadneros out for Dimitri in front. I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. That could be pretty irritating to look at.
Well, I kind of hope that they keep the difficulty that was in Gen 3.
Yeah.
Because I think that Emerald is, like, the hardest game.
Yeah. It's like the champion in Elite Four can give you quite a run for your money. Anyway, and I completely skipped over the first 2 bits of dialogue, so just out of context. And I've grown tough using the cave at the outskirts of this town and as my training ground, as well as using the equipment in this gym. So you want to challenge me? Yees, let's see what you're made of.
This should be fun.
Yeah. And if you saw, like, the lead-in to stuff and how it has there's, like, effects in the background, from what I've seen, the one for Brawly with all those orange explosion things against blue, that's probably my favorite, at least out of the ones I've seen. And I still really love the wireframe badge thingies. But
that's pretty cool. Did they reuse the stuff from, like, X and Y's assets there?
What do you mean?
Like, how they did that in X and Y, they just kind of given that a fresh look thing.
Sort of. I know that they, for one thing... Oh, okay, change of subject. He actually does have a Machop. I guess he doesn't... I guess this is based off the Sapphire team. I don't think he had a Makuhita then, although he probably did, and I'm just remembering incorrectly.
I think Makuhita's the main thing that he had.
Oh, okay.
But, I think that Brawly was a fairly easy gym leader, because in the originals he was optional.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because to get to Slateport, you just needed to get the letter from Steven, or like, you had to deliver the letter to Steven, and, well, you didn't need Flash to get through that cave.
But it made it a whole lot easier?
It made it possible. I mean, I've played that game like 100 times. I've memorized the layout of that cave like the back of my hand. So, I don't need it now, so I can just skip Brawly and do him later.
Yeah, I know that apparently Winona is completely skippable because her HM is not required at any point. She gives you...
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Although, you need to go back and beat her if you want to finish the game. Because they don't let you in if you... Actually, I don't remember if they actually let you in if they don't have 8 badges, and yeah, I just won that fight.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
And Quad Nose grows to level 16. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Well, I'm guessing it's because you have a Psychic type way earlier than you should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only other Psychic type you could have at that point would be an Abra.
Ralts.
Or Ralts.
Yeah, but Ralts is kind of very rare.
1%.
Yeah.
I think.
I have not found one yet. There's going to be one update. It's like, I actually mentioned this in the part that I just put on DeviantArt, but my train of thought is derailing.
You gonna catch them all?
Hmm?
Are you gonna catch them all?
I'm going to try and catch as many as I can, basically. But I'm going to do one update in which it's just detailing a whole bunch of, or catching a whole bunch of stuff I missed.
Yeah, that's one thing I hope that they brought back for this game. Was like the Pokédex region, or like the route selector thing that was in Black 2 and White 2 that was like, oh yeah, there are X things in this place.
Oh,
and you got X of them.
They do have something quite like that. I don't exactly remember what the one from Black and White 2 was like, but basically it's a thing that shows you what's in each route, and it's like it shows you what you do have, and if you've seen something and it's on this route, it'll have a little silhouette, and every time something like relatively rare is nearby, it's sort of like a dowsing machine for Pokemon, and there are in some cases where, from what I've seen, if you've seen a Pokemon on a route, you can basically summon it at will, almost, which is kind of...
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, although it's...
By the way, not to cut you off, but if you haven't already caught one with the old rod, you have a 5% chance of catching a Tentacool.
Oh, because...
You can get him quite early now.
I'm pretty sure you could catch Tentacool with old rod in the old games, but that...
I don't think anyone did.
Except for Chugga Conroy, but that's a different point entirely.
I can't say I've watched his Let's Plays.
I didn't watch much of the Emerald one. So anyway, after that rambling, yeah, that was the Dewford Gem. So,
see you guys next time.
Yes, thanks for coming.